as usual, I've been very busy and I'm not as video editing savvy, so I'm just putting this message out there as quick as I can because it needs to get out. And it's hard for me to do it on some other forms of personal social media because I keep getting banned, of course. But don't count on the courts to strike down these blatantly unconstitutional mandates. Don't count on the Supreme Court. I hope they do the right thing, but I'm not counting on it. History has shown that the Supreme Court can be bent or coerced to do the will of the ruling class. As far back as the Dred Scott decision, when they ruled that slavery was somehow constitutional, or maybe fast forward a little bit in time when they ruled that somehow women have the exclusive right to decide to murder their unborn children, to murder the bodies of their own children. So I'm at my breaking point, of insanity and giving up freedom. I'm not willing to go with it. You're not going to piss down my back and tell me it's raining. You're not going to sit here and tell me that a woman has a right to murder her unborn child because her body, her choice, and people have no right, the government has no right to tell her what to do with her own body, but then tell me I have to force some mystery substance in mine. Fuck that. I've had enough of this nonsense, and I'm not putting up with it. And I hope none of you will. We need people to remember what it's like to have a backbone, not be ruled by fear or love of money. But I say this because, you got the mainstream media trying to get everybody to let their guard down and go, oh, the Supreme Court looks poised to strike down Biden's mandate. Yeah, it's blatantly unconstitutional. That should be expected. But the sad reality is we live in a country of corruption now. And history has shown, even when our country was not as corrupt as it is now, it's far worse now, that the Supreme Court could be bent to the will of the ruling class and the politicians. So don't count on it. Have a plan in place. Don't count on the Supreme Court to make it right. If they do, great, but I'm not counting on it. So have a plan in place, but don't give in and just roll over. They want you to have your guard down, so you're like, oh, I guess there's nothing else we can do. No, there is. It just requires a backbone. And if this isn't risking everything for, if you're not willing to stand up for this, what are you willing to stand up for? You can't tell me you believe in freedom. You can't tell me that. What? Oh, you want to protect your Second Amendment rights? Well, I do too, but what's the point of even having a Second Amendment, or a First Amendment, or a Fifth Amendment, or a Fourth Amendment, or any of our freedoms and rights that are supposed to be protected, if you're going to roll over on this very core foundational thing? You're going to sit here and go, well, we have Fourth Amendment rights. The local police department can't search my house without a warrant. I'm free. And meanwhile, you're just going to roll over and think you're free, even though you're rolling over and letting the feds force something inside of your own body. I would think your body, which the Bible refers to as, is supposed to be a temple of God. That's what you're supposed to make it. And whilst, we all fall short on that from time to time, if you're not going to protect that, that's far more important than your house. What are you going to protect? Nothing. If you're not willing to stand up on this, there's nothing you're willing to fight for. Because this will impact your children, even if they don't have to get it now. Even if you say, well, I'm just taking them out of school, I'll get it to keep my job. Well, it don't matter. You're letting the precedent be set. When they do get older, they'll have to take it to have a job. And the system will already be in place to enslave them. Now is the time to say no. Now is the time to stand against this. Now is the time to stand for freedom. At least for the freedoms we have left. And I get it. Some things aren't worth it. We've bent and we've bent. But I'm done bending. I'm done compromising. We should not be willing to give up any more of our basic rights or freedoms. So have a plan in place. It's like I told a buddy of mine who got an OSHA packet today. If this was going to be overturned, why are these businesses still pushing it so hard if it looked like it was going to be overturned any day now? Have a plan in place. And like I told him, it's up to you, man. If you want to deal with the testing nonsense, do what's best for your family, as long as they're not jabbing it up in your brain or whatever. But whatever you do, don't get the vaccine. Under any circumstance. And really, I don't even know about the testing, really. You know, there's could be something nefarious with that other than just trying to annoy you into compliance. Something to think about. Keep your eyes on it, but again, don't count on the Supreme Court to act as your savior. God and his son Jesus that he sent is your only savior.